Hello cyclists, or should I rather say ciao, because today I brought you a very, very beautiful bicycle from Italy, the Noko Forza. Well, Noko Bikes is rather a young brand. It was introduced to the market in 2021 in Italy, where they come from, and all the frames are indeed produced in Italy. Well, this model here is called Forza, the Noko Forza. And Forza, that means strength. And Noko thought it is the strength of the cyclist, but also like the passion and the joy of cycling and enjoying life. And Noko means no compromise. And that is indeed what the complete bicycle and the whole philosophy and vision of the brand is about. Because they try to use as many components and parts and accessories as possible from Europe. And you see that and you feel that in all the details and the overall experience when you're cycling this bike, because they use high quality components, of course, for this certain price range. And you just feel it. It's very smooth. You don't hear any sounds, no rattles, no vibrations. So it's a really, really beautiful bicycle. It is, of course, an e-bike, what you cannot see because the battery is integrated in the down tube. But of course, it can be taken out when it needs some service. It's a 252 watts battery from Samsung, and it has an intelligent software. So whenever you charge the bike, it guarantees you that the battery will last quite long. And it gives you a range of up to 100 kilometers, of course, always depending on what pedal assist you choose. And you can extend the range, because here, where usually you can install a bottle carrier, you can install a range extender, and then you do have a range of another 100 kilometers. So overall, 200 kilometers. That is, of course, quite interesting if you're into touring or if you don't want to charge your battery that often. As I said, the battery is integrated, so you do have a little lid down here to charge the battery. That takes only, No, it takes 4 hours to fully charge the battery. The motor, as I said, is in the rear hub, so it rather gives you a feeling of being pushed than rather being pulled, or when it's in the front, or in the middle when it's rather a very natural feeling. The motor is an FSA and it has 42 Newton meters of torque, which is not super powerful, but this bicycle is very lightweight. It weighs only 14.2 kilograms, so can be easily carried up a flight of stairs. And it's a very sportive bike, so you don't really need such a powerful motor, because otherwise, if you ask me, it could be really risky, because then the motor is so strong and yeah, you can slip on the street, or for me, it's just not the way it should be. So 42 Newton meters of torque, definitely enough. And there is a torque sensor. So because it is a single speed and in combination with a torque sensor, the harder you push the pedal, the more support the motor will provide. So it is a very natural feeling indeed, and for me, it's the most natural way with a torque sensor when you combine it with a single speed. Noko did choose a belt drive. Of course, I give my thumbs up, my most favorite alternative to a chain, because a belt drive lasts up to 3 times longer than a chain, up to 30,000 kilometers. It does need no attention at all, because no oil, and you don't have to clean it as often. Well, if you're riding through quite a lot of mud, of course you have to clean it, but otherwise it's only giving you advantages, and it's super silent. And Noko did choose the manufacturer Veer. To be honest, I was only familiar with the Gates carbon belt drives, but I looked it up, and Veer is a US producer of belts, and to my knowledge, I did the research, and it's just as good as the belts from Gates. Well, this is a very sportive bike, and if you're cycling quite a lot, it could happen that you do need to service your rear tire because you have a flat tire, for example. And when you're cycling a bike with a belt drive, you always have to keep in mind that it's very important how the belt is situated. It should be a straight line, and the tension has to be correct. And Noko did choose a belt tensioner that will help you to put, if you do service the rear tire, to put it back into the right position. So thanks a lot, Noko, very intelligent. What else? As you can see, it is a very beautiful bicycle. The design, if you have a closer look at the frame, it's a very nice geometry, and also when you're cycling, the sitting position is very sportive, but due to the fact that you do have, in this case, a very broad handlebar, it's still very comfortable. But what I like about Noko is they do offer you different choices for the parts. So besides this handlebar, you can also go for a riser handlebar. So overall, especially in combination with the different frame colors, you have black, orange and green, I really like the branding. Have a closer look. Also, if you ask me, Noko is a very beautiful name, and if you have a closer look at what typo they did choose and where they integrated the branding on the bike, which is very important for me, I definitely give my thumbs up. Also, when you have a closer look and you look at the brake levers, they are very special and very beautiful, and there's also a little Noko branding attached, as well as the bike stand. I mean, every now and then when you look at my other reviews, there are two things that are important for me. The one thing is the pedal and the bike stand, because then you can see if they really gave detail and thought and research into the accessories and parts that they choose. And here I can only give both my thumbs up. So the pedals do not only look beautiful, they also do what they should do, give you a nice grip and you feel safe and secure, because sometimes very important that you have pedals that keep you on the bike, as well as the bike stand. I really like that. As I already said in the introduction, the frame is produced in Italy. It's an aluminium frame, and what does that mean? Of course, it's quite lightweight, but it's also very stiff. But in combination with the tires, when you have a closer look, the tires do not only have profile, so that's very important when you're cycling quite a lot all year long, but they're also a bit bigger and brighter, and they do give you some sort of suspension. Also very nice, the internal cable routing. That's why the bike looks very clean and very chic. And the cables, of course, are important for the brakes. As I already said, the brake levers are very beautiful, and they have 160 millimeters SRAM disc brakes in the front and in the back, and they are super reliable. You really have to take a bit in account that they work really well, because otherwise it could be dangerous, because they're working so well. But there's no vibration and no sounds, so I really like the brakes that it choose. Well, what I did not like so much about the bicycle is the saddle that it choose. Well, it's quite comfortable, but I didn't like the design so much. It's a bit too chaotic, a bit too much happening on the saddle. But to be honest, when I'm riding the bike, I don't see the saddle at all. Well, the bike comes with extra USB lights, so they are totally okay when you're, for example, cycling in Germany. They are inside the law, so it gives you quite a lot of visibility, and definitely it's a good option, because especially when you're more into sportive cycling, every gram counts, even though this is an e-bike. But I know that some people do choose rather extra lights than completely bikes that are integrated in the bike. As you can see, there is no display on the handlebar that gives you the information what the range is, what pedal assist you did choose, and how the battery is charged. Because there is this little cute button that feels really nice when you push it, that gives you all the information, or at least some information, because it shows you how the battery is charged. There's a different color code for the different ranges that are left, and when you push it a bit longer, you can choose between the 5 modes of pedal assistance. Sometimes I'm not quite sure if this is the right position, because when you're pushing it and you're looking down on your bike, you don't see what's happening around you. But on the other hand, I think you get used to it quite quick, and then you know when to push what and where you are, what mode you're in. So yeah, it's a choice, and it gives the bike, of course, the very clean and the very chic design. when you're interested in a Noko bike, you can order it online. And I felt the whole process was the whole user experience and my customer journey was really professional and super nice. And the bike comes completely assembled, so you only need to adjust the handlebar and put on this beautiful pedals. And that felt very nice, was a very nice experience for me. And I also got like a welcome package and a very nice communication with Noko, like a welcoming email with all the information that was provided. So that felt really nice and very personal. What else? So what do you want with your bike? So who could be interested in a Noko, especially this Noko Forza? It's a very nice companion for cycling because when you do have a look at the website, you see there are more accessories you can choose for the bike. For example, fenders and a rear rack. Important for me, at least when you're commuting, because you do have a backpack or you have bags and you don't want to carry it all on your back because it gets sweaty, and sometimes, you know, when you're arriving in a rather chic outfit, you don't want to carry stuff on your back. Besides the 3 different frame sizes, I'm 174 centimeters and this is a medium, which was perfect for me. You can choose the different parts and accessories and, as I said already, the painting. And that always, depending on what kind of bike, and also I forgot almost the rims, you can also have carbon rims, then the price is defined. But it starts at a bit less than 3,000 euros. And there's always happening quite a lot at Noko bikes. There are more models, of course, check out the website, and there's happening quite a lot in the future. So definitely check out their communication channels. Well, for me, definitely Noko Bikes is one of the most interesting bike brands that was introduced to the European market. I really feel when I'm riding the bike, the passion and the love for these bicycles. So even if you don't need a bike now, check out their website, what they're communicating, have a closer look at the brand and at the different models, because this is a really special brand if you ask me. Even though I'm not so much into sportive cycling, I really felt comfortable with the rather sportive sitting position. So the frame geometry was really, really nice. And I highly appreciate that they're really looking for European manufacturers and integrate those parts and accessories in this bicycle. So I definitely fell a bit in love, and I really hope that one day I could meet those people from Noko Bikes at a bike fair, because I want to meet those people that are responsible for this beautiful bicycle. So definitely a thumbs up. And maybe check out the description, because I have a little gift, a little discount for you if you're interested in a Noko bike.